Caitlin Clark is the only player in the history of the WNBA to achieve those numbers or better.
But to me, that's not dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a rookie.
She dominates. She dominates the ball, dominates the other team's thought, dominates her own team's thought, dominates the crowd, dominates the entire area of the arena.
Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any bigger, it explodes. Caitlin Clark, the rising star of the WNBA, is dominating both on and off the court, but not everyone is happy about it.
If it was anybody other than Sheryl Swoops, we'd be like, oh, okay.
In fact, the backlash from some legendary figures in women's basketball has reached a boiling point. Sheryl Swoops and Renee Montgomery are at the center of a storm, making bold, controversial claims against Caitlin Clark and her fans.
Sheryl Swoops has equity in hating on Caitlin Clark. You know, she's been there, done that, keeps doing it. And it's not only about basketball, it's about her relationships with other players or perceived relationships with other players.
But is this really about basketball, or is there something deeper going on here? Today, we dive into the shocking accusations, the jealousy, and the race card being played in this heated battle. Let's break it all down.
Nobody was talking about Sheryl Swoops before the WNBA season started, but she's figured out a way to jump back into the spotlight for the first time since retiring in 15 years. She's staying relevant by saying dumb things about the next popular women's basketball player, the most popular women's basketball player on the planet, while clearly falling into the trap of becoming addicted to her social media mentions filling up. Even if the overwhelming majority of the population disagrees with everything she's saying.
Caitlin Clark has been nothing short of a phenomenon in the WNBA. As the only player in the league's history to put up the kind of numbers she has, her dominance is undeniable. We're talking points, assists, rebounds. She's doing it all. And it's not just her stats on the court. Caitlin Clark dominates the entire game, from the way she controls the ball to how she captivates fans in the stands. Whether you're watching on TV or lucky enough to be in the arena, there's no doubt she's leaving an impact. But with great success comes great scrutiny.
I don't have a problem if we're talking about basketball. I know a little bit about it, and I'm very confident, and that's how Sheryl Swoops feels. My problem is her comments are never about basketball. It's about being black, being white, being straight, which Sheryl Swoops is, and it's jealousy.
Caitlin has been hailed as the future of women's basketball, and with that, naturally, comes some resentment. And it's not just the media hyping her up. Her popularity is skyrocketing everywhere. Merchandise sales, ticket sales, everything related to Caitlin Clark is booming. It's not just about her playing. It's about how she's revolutionizing the game. She's bringing a level of attention to the WNBA that hasn't been seen in years. People are tuning in. Arenas are filling up, and the conversation is loud.
Caitlin Clark has been the best thing, the most dominant thing to happen to the WNBA ever. Remember, there's been good players come out of college, but nobody really cared. We'd seen it. Nobody really cared.
And yet, amidst all this success, there are those who can't seem to handle her rising star. Sheryl Swoops, a legendary figure in the game, has stepped into the spotlight once again. But this time, with a narrative that has people talking for all the wrong reasons. Swoops recently made comments about Caitlin's supposed lack of dominance.
Let's hear from the hater that is Sheryl Swoops, the nasty one.
If we had a number, if we would have said, when we're talking about dominating with Caitlin Clark, what would those numbers have? What was the numbers?
It would have been a scoring number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Because of high clip, shooting it.
Right,
so
right.
we'd have been like,
That's what she did in
Do you consider 20
that's
points
what I
per
was saying
game?
when you said
So
it.
you don't consider 20 points per game?
So if her stats, when we're saying she won't do this in the W, she averaged 31.6, 7.4 rebounds, 9 assists, right? Did anyone expect her to do that in WNBA?
Those three? No.
Right? So she didn't do that.
No.
Now, if we say her stats are today, what?
20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But 5
That's crazy.
Five
Is
point,
that dominant?
5.6
Those are
turnovers,
hell of a
too.
number.
Those are hell
For
of
a
a numbers.
rookie.
But to me, that's not
Period.
dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a rookie.
Now,
No.
okay, so
According to Swoops, Clark's numbers aren't enough to define dominance. Sure, Caitlin is averaging around 20 points per game, with impressive assists and rebounds, but in Swoops' eyes, that's not enough. She's comparing it to the old-school dominance of players who put up massive double-doubles every night. Swoops' criticism doesn't stop there. It's not just about the numbers. It feels personal. There's a growing sentiment that jealousy is at play. Caitlin's rise threatens to overshadow the legacy of players like Swoops, who once held the spotlight. And in a sport that's finally getting the attention it deserves, it seems like certain former stars just can't accept the fact that the torch has been passed to a new generation, led by Caitlin Clark.
You know, you never really want people to take your spotlight. The post-Sheryl Swoops career has splat. She tried coaching, but she was so awful as a human being. I mean, the stories of her coaching, she got fired as an African-American woman at a Catholic school, Loyola, for being god-awful to players. She didn't win, but that ain't why she was fired. She was just ridiculous, mean, nasty.
Sheryl Swoops isn't the only one throwing shade at Caitlin Clark's dominance. The Atlanta Dream co-owner, Renee Montgomery, recently went on a rant, accusing Caitlin Clark's fans of crossing some serious lines.
This is our league. This was built, I feel like as a women's basketball historian myself, I've been watching since I was 5. I was here before the league started, as a lot of the fans on social media feel the same. That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay? So please don't confuse me saying motivated by hate by meaning hating on a team the way a normal, die-hard fan would. For instance, let me just give you some examples. A die-hard Falcons fan can hate the Saints, but they would be going a little bit too far if they created nude AI pictures of Saints players and then sent them to the Saints players' families. That's what Caitlin stans have done to Angel Reese. A die-hard Tennessee Vols fan could have hated our UConn Huskies, but they would have been going way too far if they sent death threats to the UConn players. And that's what they've done. That's what Caitlin stans have done. A die-hard Celtics fan could hate the Lakers. And you know what? If we being honest, that Celtics fan base has definitely gone too far with some of their racist remarks and their treatments of players. It's not okay. It's okay to be a hater in sports. Hating in sports is a part of the game. I like when our fans are so engaged and so passionate that they just don't like the other team. But being racist, sexist, and violent with your words, come on now, what are we doing? Come on now, that's not acceptable. I mean, honestly, imagine if one of the stands said the things that they were saying. What if they said it to your daughter, your wife, your cousin, your sister? Folks might be ready to fight, okay? So Caitlin, unfortunately for her, this is a group that is attached to her, not her asking this group to follow. It seems that they found a home in this fan base, thinking that that's where it was. But recently, some things have shown where Caitlin recently liked a post by Taylor Swift, and it was supporting VP Harris. And on that post, all she did was like it. And this Caitlin stans group that I'm talking about, the stans have now split against Caitlin. They're actually going against Caitlin. I'm going to read some of the tweets. This is what they're saying to Caitlin now. I was just starting to finally pay some attention to the WNBA because somebody was actually worth watching, and then you caved. Another fan said, definitely should have stayed out of politics at Caitlin Clark. I love watching you, but now I refuse after seeing you support Taylor Swift and Kamala. Why did you like Taylor Swift's post endorsing Kamala? We thought you were like us. What's going on? So Caitlin had these big expectations when she came into the league, and she's clearly exceeding all of them, not only on the court, but off of the court, being an ambassador for these brands.
According to Montgomery, Caitlin's supporters allegedly made AI-generated inappropriate images of Angel Reese, sent death threats, and have been spewing racist and sexist remarks. Montgomery took it further by saying these fans are violent with their words, which, according to her, is the new trend in toxic fandom. But let's pause for a second. Montgomery's claims, while serious, paint a pretty extreme picture. Why are all these attacks specifically being attributed to Caitlin Clark's fans? Why not fans of other big-name WNBA players like Aja Wilson or Diana Taurasi? It seems like every negative incident is now being blamed on the supporters of Caitlin Clark, as if she personally controls the actions of every single person who roots for her. This narrative is starting to feel more like a targeted attack on Caitlin's success rather than a legitimate concern about her fan base.
Let's compare this to Donald Trump. Donald Trump got shot, and people say he brought it on himself. I don't know. Let's use the same logic. Did Angel Reese bring this on herself? Now, my answer to that is this. There are a lot of idiots out there. A lot of idiots. There's idiots out there of every race, every color, every origin, every sex. You name it, they got it. And if idiots want to say, and this is what they're doing, Renee Montgomery and Angel Reese, if they want to say that it's Caitlin Clark fans and lump them into that, well, that's par for the course on the old victim mentality. I'm doing this, she's doing this, but look at how bad her fans are.
Montgomery's accusations feel like part of a larger issue. It's easy to throw around claims without much evidence, especially when it comes to high-profile athletes. And while it's true that every sport has its toxic fans, whether we're talking about the Celtics, the Lakers, or college football rivalries, it's unfair to lump an entire fan base into one category because of the actions of a few individuals.
Her fans are little girls wearing 22. Her fans are moms and dads taking little girls and little boys to see something they've never seen. Nobody would consider anybody that sends a death threat, an AI post, a fan. They would consider them a crazy person. That's what they would consider them. But of course, in this world, the Renee Montgomerys of the world, the Sheryl Swoops of the world, they have to make this about something that we all know they're making it about. Look at this white girl and their white fans.
Are there bad actors? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean Caitlin's fans as a whole are responsible for what some might do or say. The real question is, why is Caitlin Clark constantly at the center of this controversy? Could it be that her unprecedented success is making her a target?
Sheryl Swoops, you're wrong. It's the most dominating thing we've seen, whether it's in the arena, outside the arena, on the court, with the media. It's so dominant, in fact, that legends like Sheryl Swoop are so damn jealous, they just can't stop themselves from stupidity.
Caitlin has brought a wave of excitement and attention to the WNBA like never before, and it's clear that not everyone is comfortable with it. Whether it's jealousy from past legends or frustration from rival teams, it seems like Caitlin's meteoric rise has people searching for reasons to tear her down. But at the end of the day, Caitlin's fans are simply doing what fans do, cheering for a player who's breaking records and changing the game.
There is no race. And guess what? Those aren't fans. The people that are doing that, if they're doing that, they're just idiots. And if you're going to be popular, if you're going to be in the public eye, you're going to have a lot of idiots.
The controversy doesn't stop there. Montgomery's accusations have sparked conversations about race, with the focus shifting from Caitlin's achievements to a supposed divide between black and white fans. This is a dangerous game to play, especially when it drags sports into a racial narrative that distracts from the real conversation.
She has taken to two things that, well, most women go to in sports when it's not going their way: shaking their ass and calling people racist.
Caitlin Clark's remarkable performance on the court. Montgomery and others are trying to frame this as a battle between black and white, when in reality, it's a handful of trolls hiding behind the mask of fandom to stir the pot. Let's be real for a second. Those making death threats or creating offensive AI content are not real fans. They're just idiots looking to cause chaos. They exist in every corner of the internet and latch onto anything that gets them attention. It's unfair to pin their actions on an entire group of people just because they support a successful player like Caitlin Clark. Yet, Montgomery's comments have escalated the situation, fueling a narrative that this is about race, when in fact, it's about a few bad actors who would do the same thing, no matter who was in the spotlight.
White girl is successful. White girl more popular. white girl must be bad. Bad white girl. We see it in politics with bad orange man. And of course your fans are racist. You racist!
This brings us to the core of the issue: jealousy.
We understand that the world that we live in can easily be defined by white racist, white bad. You're rooting for a white guy, bad. You're wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Think about that. Make America Great Again. Oh, you don't understand. That has racial connotations. No, it doesn't. When it's not going well for you, claim racism. When it's going well for you, claim victim/racism. We get it. We understand. And frankly, I just laugh at it.
Caitlin Clark is a game changer. She's dominating the WNBA in ways that we haven't seen before, both on and off the court. Her influence reaches beyond the arena, capturing the attention of fans, media, and even former legends like Sheryl Swoops. But with that level of success comes scrutiny, and sometimes that scrutiny turns into baseless accusations. Caitlin's impact goes beyond just her stats. She's creating a movement, bringing young girls, boys, and families to games in droves, excited to witness something extraordinary. And this newfound attention? It's rattling those who had the spotlight in years past. Legends like Sheryl Swoops can't help but feel sidelined by Caitlin's rise, leading to petty comments that are more about maintaining relevance than genuine critique. In this environment, any criticism of Caitlin's fans or her dominance feels more like a personal attack than an honest evaluation of her talent.
There isn't one single interesting woman playing in the WNBA, to me, a mid-range jump shooting Asia Wilson, and how great she is. She's not great. She's okay. I mean, she probably could start on a few boys' teams out here in the country, but none here in Indiana City. But Caitlin Clark's interesting.
As we wrap up, it's clear that Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating on the court, she's shifting the entire landscape of women's basketball. Whether it's her jaw-dropping stats, her ability to rally a passionate fan base, or the sheer presence she brings to every game, Caitlin has become a force unlike any other.
I went to a Fever game, and I saw a bunch of little kids wearing 22 jerseys, and if this idiot thinks it's because I'm wearing this jersey because I don't like Angel Reese, I think if you ask most of them, they'd say, who's Angel Reese? There's no problem. I mean, it bothers African-American people to their core that a white girl and a white man, Jokic in the NBA, is playing basketball. There's no racial sovereignty. There's no racial exception that, hey, black people are supposed to be better than white people at basketball. That's crap.
But with this level of success, controversy is bound to follow. Critics like Sheryl Swoops and Renee Montgomery may try to diminish her impact, but their words only highlight the jealousy and tension her rise has created. In the end, the drama, the debates, and the backlash only prove one thing. Caitlin Clark is here to stay, and she's changing the game in more ways than one. Let's focus on what matters: the basketball, the history being made, and the incredible journey still ahead for this phenomenal player. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments. See you next time.
When it's behind your name, that's when a lot of people are like, oh, they think, oh, I don't like her because her fans are saying this. No, I don't believe in her heart that she has hatred towards me. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she believes that I don't have hatred towards her, but I think her fan base has gone, I'm talking about like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Here's a TikTok and Angel Reese's comments below. Oh my God, what are we gonna do?
Let me say it again. You were never a Caitlin fan. You were an Angel Reese hater. You didn't care about Caitlin Clark's skills. You like the fact that she was a white woman performing exceptionally well in a sport dominated by black women. So instead of appreciating Caitlin for being an incredible, talented player, it was all about being anti-Angel Reese. That's not weird to y'all? Y'all think that's weird?
You left no crumbs. Okay, that's Angel Reese's response. That means that you're right. I agree. You told the truth.
Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked.
Angel Reese took her clothes off for Instagram and posed and all this stuff. What happened? She claimed to be sexualized. What is that? Drama. Total drama. Put some clothes on, young lady, and act like an adult.
No one has sympathy for the villain. You painted the bullseye on your back. Why are you surprised when people shoot at you?
We understand in this world that the easiest thing for really stupid people like Angel Reese to do is to claim racism.